Gemini. Yeah, it said Gemini. Black transition. Somebody's family may be about to pass. A Gemini says transition. Somebody's smooth criminal here. I also see best friend here. Sabotage. America's family insurance. Somebody could have sabotaged somebody's best friend by blackmail. Something about America's family insurance. It could be something about some renter's insurance, some type of life insurance or something. Identity theft here. Says you are a winner. Psychic power, divination, healing. Somebody could have used some type of divination or psychic power here. Somebody could be speaking publicly about this going on, about somebody being sabotaged here by using some type of divination here or psychic powers to steal somebody's identity here. Maybe even some type of life insurance or a home or a car. And they blackmail somebody here, somebody's best friend. I see family here. I also see get out. Somebody could be in an interracial relationship. Somebody's name could be Chris or Rose. Somebody's in-laws could be doing some really weird stuff here. Could be into some type of divination or have some type of psychic power that they help somebody, that they use to help somebody here steal somebody's money. Life insurance, maybe. They could have helped. They could have used that psychic power to dig into somebody's past or somebody here and use whatever they found out to blackmail this person. Mentor here. Somebody could be some type of mentor. Do some type of public speaking here. But there's some type of life insurance here or a home or a car. Some type of insurance policy may have been on somebody here, or could have somebody could have passed and left something to somebody here. And somebody used this, it's like identity theft. Somebody used identity theft to steal from somebody here. And somebody's being blackmailed in the process. Somebody's best friend or somebody's family is being blackmailed by the best friend, or somebody's best friend is being blackmailed by the family. But I feel like who's ever doing the blackmail, they're able to do it because of this, could be because of this divination that they are doing on somebody here, or some type of psychic power that somebody has. Either way, they are spiritually looking into somebody or some people here, and they may have been using whatever it is they know on that person to blackmail somebody here. So somebody could have been blackmailed to do something, could have been to help with this identity theft, could have been to turn a blind eye on this identity theft. They were blackmailed to do something here. So what you have is a group of people here who knows what's going on, but there's some stolen money that comes from some type of insurance policy, or maybe some type of will or trust that was left or something. Or somebody could be speaking about it, or someone could be a speaker. We got mentor here, public speaking, motivational speaker, some type of advisor here. Somebody could be some type of spiritual advisor here. Purple here, psychic power, divination, or healer here. This could have been done to some type of healer here. We have you are a winner, identity theft here. You are a winner. Somebody could have definitely gave somebody something here, left somebody something here, and somebody used some type of identity theft here to steal it. But it has something to do with some type of insurance policy here. Now you have a best friend right here who is possibly being blackmailed here. Something could be going on with somebody's legs or a leg here. Somebody's family has something to do with this, their cousins, their aunts, nephews, nieces here. And there's definitely some, I don't know, I can't say definitely. This could be an interracial couple. Again, somebody's name could be Chris or Rose. Somebody's in-laws could have something to do with this. Somebody's finding out, they could be finding out something disturbing about the in-laws here, and somebody could be a part of the 144,000. That could be the healer here. There definitely could be some type of healer here. But somebody's being blackmailed to say or to do something here. And there was some money here, but I don't know if it's still here. Virgo could have something to do with this. It says they were paid to do it. And so a Virgo, somebody could have blackmailed a Virgo, or a Virgo could have blackmailed somebody here. They could have been paid to blackmail somebody here. And again, we have identity theft. This is twice. Identity theft has came out here. Twice. Twice identity theft has came out. Somebody definitely stole somebody's identity here and was paid to do something here. May have been to steal somebody's identity here. Somebody was paid to blackmail somebody here. It's so funny. It's so funny. My brother's name is Chris and he's a Virgo. That's so funny. Somebody here who is somebody's family had something to do with, may have been paid to do something, to blackmail somebody. It'd have been to blackmail somebody's best friend here, to have them steal some type of identity, to be used to maybe gain this, whatever this insurance policy is. I feel like this is about money. It's so funny. I was just talking about Masons earlier, and then Chris would come up and a Virgo would come up. Sounds exactly like my brother, huh? Sounds exactly like my brother. You think, you think with them being a part of something like that, then they would be helpful to me, right? You think, and they ain't been helpful to me. And the only thing I got from my brother is right before my mother passed, when he was asking me or making comments about my life, initially telling me that I was going to marry. Speaking of marriage, initially telling me that I was going to marry somebody, um, who evidently was a maybe a man that went both ways. That I was going to marry him and have his child, to asking me, was I gay? Because evidently whatever he thought was going to happen isn't going to happen anymore. But are you gay? So I'm guessing whatever it is he was looking at, he's seen some type of other woman in it. to make him ask me that, because initially he just knew my life. And I never did ask him, how do you just know whatever it is you think you just know? But evidently something changed up to make him not know. And so his question then was, are you gay? You like women? I just kind of jokingly said, maybe. Yeah, to have a brother that is a part of a society, and this is supposed to be a brotherhood. You think you again have certain family that have your back when it come down to certain things, but I haven't had that. And so I got part of my family who's a part of that, supposed to be Masons. And I don't know, y'all, I don't think there's nothing secret about it. I've seen Masons who go out the way to show that they are part of the society. They put the emblems on their cars, and you know who they are. And so I can't imagine it's something that he would want to hide, although it's something he's never spoken about. You just know. Anyway. So yeah, I feel like I do. And I don't know, something tells me that he's got my little brother in it as well. And so my little brother, who is also an army brat, at least he spent a couple of years in the army, uh, and now he's out. I think he's gotten to be a part of it as well. But again, you think some type of help would come from it with everything that's going on. But instead, all I am is watched like a hawk. Imagine. All I am is watched constantly like a hawk. It's like somebody said, sick 'em. And so they just all eyes on me. Not to actually help me, though. Nobody's helping. Actually, my little brother seems to be, or at least when I was dealing with him regularly, I noticed that he seemed to be more of in competition with me than anything. And I always thought that was weird. Like, why are you in competition with me? Like, you supposed to be supporting me and helping me get to where it is that I'm going. You supposed to be proud of the stuff that I'm doing. Encouraging me, because that's what I do to you. I encourage you, and I'm show that I'm proud of you for what it is that you're doing. But that's not what I get when it comes to my family. Neither side of them, by the way. Neither side of them. That's not what I get. And so it is what it is. I don't look for it anymore. Look, they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. That's kind of what I felt like when it came to my family. It's like they watch me like a hawk, but nobody will say anything. Nobody says anything that's helpful, and they link up with the people in other people in the family who seem to want my place more than anything. And so imagine my mother passed away, and before she passed away, she was talking about one of my cousins, who do things kind of for clout. Post stuff post things on the internet like she's such a family person, and she there for her family, but the minute you ask her to do something, she never comes through with it. So imagine my little brother and that particular cousin has linked up somehow, years apart, but somehow they've linked up. Nothing in common, but somehow they have linked up right before my mother passed away. And then I read the obituary, which was done I guess by them, because they didn't ask me for my input on it. And the obituary actually says that that particular cousin just so happened to be the favorite niece of my mother. I can't make it up, y'all. I can't make it up. That particular cousin just so happened to be the favorite niece. And I was just thinking to myself, how what the hell? How is that the favorite niece, y'all? I can't make it up. Like, how is that the favorite? And I talk to my mother and we have these conversations. I wouldn't even go so far as to say she had a favorite because she had got to the point where she was so into God and trying to do the right thing. I wouldn't even say she had a favorite, but what I would say is she didn't mind calling people out about their BS. And so for the favorite niece to be on the obituary and the funeral to be carried out like it was, y'all, it was all some BS to me. I felt like it was very disrespectful towards my mother because everything was all messed up. It's like nobody put any real thought into what she would have wanted. They just did what they wanted to do. And I hope their funerals end up being just like that. Just what they somebody else want to do. Just completely disregard the dead person. Um, Not to mention whatever it was that my mother left me. I never did get because I guess they decided they were just going to keep it, whatever it was. So, yeah. Anyway, no, that's family for you. So, again, that's why I got different sides of my family and I don't deal with any of them because I think it's just bull. The way they do things, I think is trash. So, anyway. Yeah, that's what you have here. Somebody's family either being blackmailed or they blackmailing somebody here. But whatever it is that they know about this person, they've gotten through some type of divination, some type of psychic work here. It's like they're using what could be used as a good thing and they're using it for something negative again. There's good and there's bad to everything that you do. And they're using divination or psychic powers or looking into some stuff and it's not for anything good here. It's to try to get money, blackmailing somebody to do certain things, stealing identities here. An Aquarius could play a role in this, stealing identities, trying to make sure they get money. I see sabotage here. An Aquarius could have sabotaged somebody here. There's an Aquarius again. So yeah, somebody got some type of insurance policy that was supposed to go to one person, and these somebody here just decided they were going to steal somebody's identity and split it up amongst themselves and blackmail somebody who may know what's going on, but they're being blackmailed. And so if they don't want their stuff out, they're gonna play along with whatever this is that's going on. That's pretty much what this is. No. It's like it's my way or the highway. You're either gonna say it or you're gonna be exposed here. And that's what they're doing. I see a community effort, so there could be a whole community of people working with these people here to blackmail somebody here and to steal money from whoever this money was left to, whoever it was left to. It's unfortunate. People have these last dying wishes and then they pass and they are completely disrespected. It's unfortunate, completely disrespected. They leave money to other people, whoever over it. They don't want to give it to them because they have this secret animosity or jealousy towards the person that's getting it. They don't want the person to have more than them, and so they do weird things to try to keep them from having it. It's all about money, And I noticed that with my family on a couple of different occasions, actually. When my grandmother died, before she could take her last breath, they were already trying to, yeah, they was already trying to manipulate things with the house, her bank accounts. It's like, oh my God, like, can we bury her good? Like, can we send her off in a respectful way before we start fighting over who gonna get a house and who got access to a bank account and if somebody gonna use her food stamp card. It's like by the time she passed away, an hour after she was gone, bank accounts was emptied, deeds to houses grabbed, things switched around on wheels that was supposed to be left, and everybody fighting for the house, saying that it's their house, it belongs to them. And for years and years and years, people went fighting for that house. They were fighting hard for that house until certain things start being used. And yeah, this is my blood. And so until certain things start to be used, like divination and spiritual practices start being used in a certain situation, and then people start being threatened by certain things. Same thing here. I'll expose you for this. I'll tell you did this. 5 years ago you did this. 2 years ago you did that. I'll tell. I'll expose this while we in court for this. I'll make sure the judge knows is this, and eventually, people who was fighting for it originally, they just kind of gave up on it because it got to be too much drama in the process. And I was definitely not one of those ones fighting over it. Honestly, I never seen a will or a deed or anything, and so I can't tell you if my name was on it or not. I can tell you when my mother passed, my name should have been on something because she told me specifically out of her mouth before she passed, that if something was to happen to her, my brother, is he dibbles a lot in spirituality. So I got one that's a Mason and one that's a like a devout spiritual worker. Yeah, he's very much into all of that stuff. Yeah, um, the darker side of it, like the more manipulative side of it. And so she would tell me because, her and my brother used to get into it all the time. And she felt like he was going to do something to her. She felt like he would try to hurt her somehow. And so she would, we would have these conversations about that because she felt like, I keep saying black magic. I was trying not to say it, but she felt like that's what he was doing to her, some type of dark magic over her. And he would say these little things and be laughing at her. They would get into it and he would go into these rants, speaking in tongues and like he throwing stuff at her and doing all of this weird stuff. And it would bother her. It bothered her a lot, actually. She probably didn't act like it did, but it bothered her a lot. And so she would tell me about certain things. One of the things me and her talked about was if something ever happened to her, I know she wanted to be on a DNR list, do not resuscitate. But she also wanted me to know that the house that was in her name, I guess, ended up being her name put on it. And my other aunt who passed away, and one of my nephews who my grandmother raised, well, she told me she wanted that house to be in my name and in my brother's name, my little brother's name, the one that I say kind of watch me like a hawk and competes with me for some reason. She wanted to be in me and his name because she felt like we were the only ones that would fight for it. Because she knew what certain people were willing to do in order to gain access to to the house. And so I can imagine if there is some type of insurance policy out here, which I already seen, the kind of drama that may be over that. But she used to, she told me for sure she was gonna leave that in me and my little brother's name because she felt like we were the only ones that were willing to fight for her. And for sure she didn't want my oldest brother having it because of, all the drama leading up to leading up to her death. She didn't want him to have nothing to do with it. She didn't want to leave anything. And especially not that house, what they had been arguing over for the longest. But needless to say, now that she's gone, my grandmother's gone, nobody has told me anything have to do with anything. And so, uh, not even whatever it is that she left to me, I was given because I guess they felt like I didn't deserve to have it or something. I don't know what they felt like, but you know, I ask about certain things. Do they have anything that belong to me? And I'm told no, they don't. Or at least I'm not told no. I'm just given vague answers. It's like, especially with my little brother, what he does is he tries to pretend like he's not aware of certain things, but he will not give me a true yes or no answer to the questions that I ask him. What he does, he give me any answer other than a yes or no answer. And so I just left it alone. It's not like I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. When I can see clearly that you're trying so hard to not give me a straight answer. And so I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna worry about it. Uh, I'm not gonna worry about it. So anyway, um, yeah. If there is something in here, in fact, somebody have some money in their name, or at least it was here, and somebody their family has something to do with them not having whatever this is that belonged to them. Virgo could have played a part in it, being paid to do certain things. You know, that's what happens when you have people. Ever heard of the? It's actually a song acting like a ninja that ain't never had shit. There's meaning put behind that. People grow up without, and they see themselves willing to be able to have, there's no telling what somebody would do to try to be in the it crowd, to try to have something, to try to appear as if they have something, to try to fit in with certain people when they've always grown up without anything. On the flip side, I didn't grow up with that particular side of my family. But it's not to say that, you know, the way I see my other family act, it's not to say they excuse from being that way either. I didn't grow up on that side. I grew up with my dad and my stepmother. And it's so funny because I feel like that side of the family they know a lot about what's going on, whatever this is going on in my situation, because of the way they did things, the way they just started moving all of a sudden. Not only that, the way people started having money that they didn't used to have, the way people started being able to do things that they could not afford to do. Right when all of my stuff has been taken from me, right when y'all caused me to lose everything, right when everybody watching me lose everything, then y'all all of a sudden come up. And in this case, this is what it looks like happened with somebody here. Somebody was paid to do something here. And so, if y'all were looking around and y'all going through something like what I did in my family, where it looked like somebody in your family came up all of a sudden and everything in your life started falling apart, it's because we already seen, we pulled a card, somebody here was paid to do something. And so they took the money that they were paid to do whatever it was that was being done. And it looks like it may have been something towards you, something to cause you to lose or miss out on whatever this was that was left to you, because somebody was paid to do something and somebody was blackmailed here to do something. And then we have this, whatever this insurance is right here, this insurance policy, which tells me there was definitely money involved here and identity theft. So somebody stole somebody's identity, claimed whatever money this is that was supposed to go to them, and paid people around them, possibly a best friend, to maybe say or do some things, to start some type of rumors or lie or whatever they paid this best friend to do. But you can imagine if somebody here was close to you, if they felt like you had a relationship with somebody here, that'd be the person they want to target, the person that looks like you had a relationship with them. That would be the person they want to say certain things, because people are more likely to believe the person who you are around, and especially if they had some type of status here, especially if they had some type of status. Not only are people going to be more likely to believe them because that's who you are around, but they're going to be more likely to believe them because this person has some type of status. They have a reputation themselves for whatever it is that they may do. And so what you have here is a lot of manipulation, a lot of divination going on right here, a lot of energy work being done to steal somebody's money. And your family has some, look, y'all, you can't make this up. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 21. An inheritance obtained first by greed will not be a blessing in the end. This was somebody's inheritance. Somebody left somebody something here, and some people worked together to steal it. And this was no one or two people. This is a collective group of people. I've seen community here. Community had something to do with this. And so this could have been somebody who you called your best friend. This was your family. This may have been, and I haven't pulled the cards yet, but this could have been people that you worked for. This could have been people in the community that you were in, or people in the community that you grew up in. So this could be old people that you went to school with. These people have all got together here. They've gotten together and stolen something from you. And imagine it being some type of insurance policy or some type of inheritance that you didn't even know that you had. Like for me, I know my mother left me something because I was sitting right there on a deathbed when my little sister decided that, she was going to write out everything that my mother was saying. The only difference is I'm sitting there in my mind and kind of emotional about what was going on and not really paying attention to what my mother was saying. So when my sister got finished with it, I not only did not read whatever was written to verify it, but I hadn't listened to her say anything. I only heard bits and pieces. And I know when she got to the end and she asked my mother, you're going to sign this so people won't know that I'm lying about it. My mother was like, for what? I did catch that part. She was like, for what? Carrie Sim right here. In other words, she heard you. She heard me say everything. And so what I got to sign up for? You got your second person right there that's listening to it. Unfortunately, I was not listening. I left it alone anyway. I left it alone anyway, thinking that, that said my little sister would do the right thing. But I know my name was on it somehow. And I have gotten absolutely nothing when it came to that. Nothing. And so I can only guess how many times my name has been on something referring to some money that I have not gotten because like I said, you know, at a certain point, my other side of the family, the side that I grew up on, started acting really weird. They started acting weird. They got money out of nowhere all of a sudden. Um, they stopped talking to me and started supporting each other like crazy. People who used to not talk because they fell out regarding money all of a sudden was acting like best friends, like the close knit family on social media. And I show you how much people can pretend on social media. That's why you shouldn't believe everything that you see on social media. Because people will put on a big front like they the happiest people in the world. And I can tell you, a couple of them people fell out at least like 2 years ago. And they would come show up to family events and not even talk to each other, not even try to look each other way because they were still angry at each other over money that was left to one person and not left to the other person. So imagine they all of a sudden start acting as if they are the best friends in this close knit family. Meanwhile, here it is. I'm watching all my stuff go down the drain. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with all of this stuff going on at work. People pretending like they don't know what's going on, being brushed off when I complain about certain things, when I report people. I'm dealing with all these issues at work. Um, People who I thought I was building relationships with outside of work, all of a sudden looking at me crazy. Anyway, so somebody going through something similar to that. That's why I decided to just go ahead and say what I was saying. Somebody's dealing with that. I see a Libra right here and water signs. Libra and water signs right here. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It's so funny because I've pulled Scorpio. I ran across that a few times and I just didn't see anything. So there could definitely be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in the mix somewhere, and a Libra who is doing something here behind the scenes. And I just seen still inheritance. And so you got people here kind of still in an inheritance here. I feel like it should not be that easy for people to steal money that was left to other people. Like I was saying, you have people on their dying bed and they're giving you their last wishes only for you to not honor them. It's selfish. It's cruel. And you deserve jail time for something like that. Just for pretending to be something that you are not, just for pretending to be trustworthy to a person that's dying and letting you know what it is they want to happen to their things. You should go to jail. You should be penalized, not just for God doing what it is you've done, for playing a certain role for gain, but from the system, for being corrupt, from the system, for being a fraud. Untruthfulness, lying here. That's what somebody did. They told some lies here. This person is bitter, whoever this is. Green here. prosperity, fertility here. Something's definitely about money, but something's about to be balanced out. It will be balanced out. So for y'all who don't been going through this for quite some time, and it may have seemed like there was going to be no balance to it. Um, that's another thing, to have everybody here working together to come up against one person, not because they did anything wrong, but because you want what it is that they are destined to have. Whether it's money that was left for somebody, whether it's a lifestyle somebody's supposed to live, but you won't fix yourself so that you can have a better life for yourself. You rather have the world come up against one person so that you can look like you're something that you're not, so your feet can be kissed, so you can be worshiped like you're something that you're not. And it's very sad when people stoop to those type of levels, but you have people doing it every day. It's people that are high up in certain industries, and that's how they got there, from stealing, manipulating. you know and so you have to be careful. I'm not saying it's everybody who has a certain position here, but I'm saying it's facts. That's how some people got to where they are. And so it's only natural for people to look at something, especially if they're going through something like this, and thinking this is just, it's like beating a brick wall. This is going nowhere. These people gonna get whatever it is that they're trying to get. They've been able to run off with your money, and left you sleep on a street corner somewhere. Because a lot of times they have to make you look like you're unstable for people to believe them even more. But it goes back to what I was saying in one of those readings earlier. How you see so many people go from the top of their career to all of a sudden being unstable, to all of a sudden being these drug addicts that has let certain things overtake them, and they don't have the ability to do things anymore. Everybody looking at them crazy all of a sudden, all of a sudden. Like, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense. Nobody at the top of their career today and tomorrow they so strung out on drugs, they sabotaging everything in their life, you know. And I just use that as an example, but I'm saying there's nobody at the height of whatever it is that they're doing. They just started to move up in their life. They've started to make changes in their life to have positive things flowing in their life, and now all of a sudden they're homeless. Now all of a sudden you go from traveling the world to now all of a sudden you don't have the ability to you don't have the ability to hold on, or manage your money. You went from out being around all of these people and laughing and talking to people, now to the next day you are this slow person who's experiencing all these mental issues all of a sudden. Make it make sense, y'all. Unfortunately, too many people out here don't try to make it make sense. Fortunately, too many people out here live their lives where they rather somebody tell them what to think and what to do, rather than to think them for themselves. And that's how you allow something so easy as this to just manifest, because people don't make it make sense anymore. They just go with what the crowd says. And unfortunately, people have a way of persuading or influencing the crowd. And so now it's what we have: somebody out here with money that's missing, money that belongs to them. And some people out here living their best life while this person's going without. Now tell me where the right in that is, especially when something's been left to this person on somebody's dying bed, somebody's last wishes, and people are purposely going against someone who they say they love, right? Someone who they gonna pretend as if they love. They purposely going against their last wishes here for selfish reasons. And anyway, you have to question how much does a person really love somebody to steal from them, to be waiting for them to die so that they can try to do what it is that they wanted to do the entire time. People don't just have somebody die and then all of a sudden, like I just said, then all of a sudden overnight they start thinking a certain way. They were thinking that way before that person passed, and so it speaks volumes about how much care and love that they truly had for that person while they were living, because you were just waiting for them to die, but you had a whole plan mapped out of what you were going to do when this person died. You had a whole plan mapped out, and you wonder why certain people don't cry at the funeral. You know, they didn't feel close enough to that person, or supposedly they just too hard to cry at the funeral. But man, were they pockets filled afterwards, right? Anyway, I'm gonna end this here. I'll be back, y'all.